it's working? Is this going? Is it live? What's happening? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Hey everyone! Welcome to the live stream. I can't wait to talk, show you guys everything. Let me just get this going. And do I shut them off? Ah, there we go. Oh, I see you guys. Hey, Hack Sign KT, Robert, old dude, Sunshine, come here often. Yes, don't mind me. I'm just excited to be able to clean the left stick using a wee bit. Hey, Servo, what's up? Guys, I'm really excited to start this live stream and share with you guys how I study Japanese. Actually, you guys have voted on this topic for me to talk about, but I wanted to share it with you guys before, but like I just never got to it. But you guys polled, so this live stream is for all y'all. You guys can see my laundry. Anyway, I want to introduce, this way, right? I don't want you guys to see my laundry hanging up. Anyway, I want to introduce, if you follow me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram. There's a link in the description box. My best friend who's going to be joining us in every live stream from now on. This is my Black Leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus. And I found him in Chinatown. Actually, he's based off of a Chinese historical figure, but he is my lucky charm. So he will be joining us for every live stream. So everyone say hello. I haven't named him yet. If you guys know any good names for him, please let me know. But yeah, he is my Black Leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus, and he is blessing this live stream. So he is going to help you learn how I study Japanese and how, yeah, it can work for you too. So I'm gonna put him right here, my little bench. Closer. Yeah, let me know, what should his name be? Okay, hear you loud and clear. I mean, beautiful. Sorry, typo. No worries, no worries. Yeah. Actually, I was making tea before yeah, I have like snacks, but I guess I can't really eat in the live stream yet. I'll wait until I'm done my presentation. I have a presentation for you guys. Before we get started, please do not forget to hit that like button. If you're new here and well, I'll give you more time to like check out my channel before you commit to subscribing. But I think if you subscribe, you'll like it. So let's get started with my prezi. I have a prezi. I don't remember which thingy is this. So while I am talking, like I will go back and forth between the super chat and like the presentation. But please know, while I'm doing the presentation, I can't really see what you guys are saying. So I'll have my phone here too, just to see like your comments. So first off, do we have any people studying Japanese here or any other languages? Damn, your best friend is thick. Servo! Angel, hear you loud and clear. Thank you. Call it Blackie. No! Nihonji no kata wa Japanese will change the way you see too. Nice! Oh, so 勉強している. Yeah, it takes me a while. Thank you, Ben Hesed Israel Info Systems. You have a long username. I think. Okay, let's get started. This is like more like a study. Is it actually? This here. So my little disclaimer though. My little disclaimer is that I put this presentation together last night. So here. Hey everyone, welcome to my TED Talk. Okay, so how I study Japanese. So before we can get into the nitty-gritty of how I study Japanese, I have to let you guys know that I can communicate in Spanish, Russian, Japanese, and English. And I'm saying this not to brag. I'm saying this just because I have experience with other languages. So my most efficient, or the language I speak best, of course, is my native language, which is English over here. After English, the language I feel most comfortable in is Spanish. And after that comes Japanese and then Russian. So when I say I can communicate in these languages, it means that if you put me in an environment where people are speaking Spanish, Russian, Japanese, or English, I can communicate outside of my basic needs. So I can have a conversation. It doesn't mean that what I'm saying is grammatically correct. It doesn't mean like I can tell like really elaborate stories or whatever. It means that I can use the vocabulary in these and grammar in these languages to talk outside of just like basic things. So, yeah. So I think a lot of people, when they think about learning a language, they only think fluent. This person's fluent or you don't speak it. But there's a huge range in between that. And yeah, so when I'm studying a new language, I always just focus on communication versus like becoming fluent, because you do not need fluency to go to a country and make friends. So that's the basis. So when about 3 years ago, when I started like focusing on how I'm studying Japanese, I realized that how I learned Spanish and Russian is completely different to the how I approached Japanese. Like again, if I was in a Spanish speaking country, if I was in a Russian speaking environment or a Russian speaking country, maybe a Russian speaking environment, I feel really confident in my language abilities. I can speak, I can tell you guys, like, I know I'm making mistakes. I know I'm making mistakes when I'm speaking, but I don't have any problems at all. Like, if I make a mistake, I realize it, or the person may like ask me for clarification. I have no problem like explaining further. Yeah, but about 3 years ago, I realized that how I approached Japanese was completely different. And yeah, I'll share with that, guys. So one of my methods for studying Japanese, you will not guess it. You will not guess how like one of the ways I one of the methods I started practicing Japanese. I I mentioned it when I was doing it when I lived in Chiba, so maybe if you watched that video of how I studied Japanese before, I think I mentioned it there. Maybe you're going to know, but I will, how about this? Like if you can guess this method of how I study Japanese, then I will send you. So after the live stream, send me your address. I'm not a creeper, I swear. But I will send you a black leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus if you can guess one of my methods. I'm pretty sure that you're not going to guess this because no one else has mentioned this. So, yeah, a little disclaimer with that. Last time I tried to send something last year, the Japanese government, like, I don't know, they weren't allowing people to send like packages outside of a letter. Um, yeah, so I can only ship things to my family last year. So it took 6 months for my shipment to get my presents to get through to my family last year. So yeah, but if I can, I promise you, and everyone is here as my witness. If you can guess this method of how I study Japanese, then I will send you a black leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus. Oh my gosh, hack sign, thank you so much. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. Спасибо, очень спасибо. Yeah, thank you. So feel free to guess one of my methods in the super chat, but if you can guess it, like I don't know what I'm gonna do aside from sending you this. Please do not forget to like this video if you're liking it so far, and like if you like it so far, again, please also do not forget to subscribe. It really helps my channel, helps grow, and yeah, it helps the algorithm find my channel too. So today's live stream agenda, by the way, I have to say it again that I put this presentation together last night because like I checked the polls on Saturday. No, I checked the polls since I released when you guys voted on this video topic. But yeah, it took me a lot to put this together all last night. It took me some hours. So there's some like little wonky bits, and a lot of times I don't even know what the next slide is going to be. So disclaimer. Anyway, live stream agenda. First is how I studied Japanese, and then also how I'm studying Japanese right now. How I learned Spanish and Russian. I hate that little animation over there. I couldn't get rid of it. Why traditional studying sucks? And most likely, if you're studying a language, and you're not in that country, you're probably studying the traditional way with books or an app, Duolingo. Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And then how I modified my Japanese study. Is everyone okay with this agenda? Hajime Let's start. Let's go. So let's first start with how I study Japanese here in Japan. So first, if you are studying Japanese, maybe you already know this test. It's the Japanese language proficiency test. And yeah, so this is an internationally recognized test that shows employers and people that it shows like your Japanese level. So there's 5 levels. N1 is the most difficult level. N5 is the easiest level. I've passed N4, but I'm studying for the Japanese language proficiency test. Why you should take the test is if you want to come to Japan, you don't want to teach English, or some English teaching positions require that you do have at least like an N3 level. But if you want to come to Japan, you don't want to teach English, or you want to work in maybe the corporate setting or whatever, having a JLPT like N2 or N1 level is really highly favored. So you'll probably be chosen like before or you probably will like I don't, how do I put this? Gosh, yeah, I swear, speak English, I swear. But yeah, if you take the test and it's on your resume or whatever, it looks better for you compared to other people who don't have this certification. Hate this animation. Anyway, it forces you to learn kanji. So yeah, kanji are Chinese characters that Japanese uses. So if you're studying for the JLPT, you will learn common kanji that you will see throughout your day. And most of all, the pressure of the JLPT test. So when you pay money to do something, whether you are actively studying all the way up until the test day, or whether you wait until the last minute to study, or maybe you don't study at all, guaranteed 100% you will learn some vocabulary, some grammar that will help you for your Japanese study. So whereas if you're just studying and there's no deadline, it comes in, it comes out, there's no pressure for it to stay. So this is why I pay money to force myself to meet this goal. Turning on subtitles on game shows. Oh, game shows. Okay, okay. Okay, good. I can see your guys' comments in the thing. So also I take Japanese group lessons every week in Shinjuku, which actually I quit. So this week will be my last week going to this one school in Shinjuku. So my new school is going to be in Ebisu. Yeah, so starting in April, I'll be continuing Japanese lessons, but yeah, it's going to be in Ebisu. So most likely if you're studying Japanese or if you're studying another language, this is probably very similar to how you're studying Japanese, but this is the traditional way. And I will get more into how I modified it. But, oh yeah, I also use, okay, this is frustrating. I also use Wanikani, and I used this in a live stream like a long time ago. Wanikani is a kanji learning website, and they also have an app. There's an unofficial Wanikani app, but this website is amazing. I reached out to them to sponsor me because I can count 20 people who I've recommended Wanikani to who have actually signed up, and I've told so many people, and I've even showed you guys in a live stream a long time ago me doing Wanikani because it really works for me. And yeah, so I don't know the total number of people who have actually signed up, but I know for a fact 20 people, and the other people, I don't know if they signed up or not. But I reached out to Wanikani like what, last year, the year before, telling them just like, hey, do you guys do sponsorships? And they're just like, nah. So yeah, I'm not getting sponsored for this, but Wanikani really works. So it's a way that you can learn kanji and for it to stick, because they have like these crazy mnemonic like stories that help you remember the kanji. Not only that, the kanji are locked So when you take like the little review quiz, here, let me show you guys. Here, when you take like the reviews here, after you try to guess like the meaning and how to read it, it's locked, so you won't be able to access it for like a few more hours. So I like that because they really factored in how people memorize uh, certain things like kanji or like whatever you want to memorize. So they don't want you to burn out. So they give you a chance, and then then it's locked. What's wrong with my voice? I haven't seen the game improves. Yeah, those eyes hit that like mate. Thank you so much. You like my eyes? You know, for the longest time I hated my eyes because I got teased in school. Yeah, they have no affiliate program. Believe in yourself. What's happening to my voice? Yeah, so the lessons is when you learn like new kanji, and the reviews is when you review like the kanji that you've already learned. And you have to take it like what, 5 times? You have to you have to read the kanji and say the meaning 5 times before you can level up to the next level. So you guys want to see my personal stats for Wanikani? I am level 17. Yeah. So this is my current status on Wanikani. Read it. Judge me. Judge me. Go ahead. But yeah. So according to Wanikani, I know about 523 kanji really well. I know about 1,667 vocabulary from Wanikani, and I know about 286 radicals. Radicals are like the little like the sections of the kanji, like if you were to break down the kanji. So it says that my typical level up is 19 days, but I will show you why that's not really accurate because I messed up the average. Yeah, so this is not accounting for the kanji I know outside of the program Onigani. So I'm just saying I know maybe more kanji than this, though. Yeah. Okay, so this is how long it takes me to level up, but I messed up my average because there were times where I stopped doing Wanikani. So this is like 881 days. I did not do Wanikani, and then here 78 days. So because of these long hiatuses, this is messing up my average. So it looks like I'll level up in 19 days, but recently, let's see, I leveled up what? Last time it was 17 days, was it? And then 10 days? So I've been leveling up much quicker, much more quickly. That's English. Oh, do I speak English? Do I is the question? Yeah, they have no. You may be a little nervous because you care about delivering. Guy, like, yeah, Robert, believe in yourself. I'm always like nervous in front of you guys. Because like when I'm doing a live stream, I don't know if something could go wrong. Knock on wood. Black Buddha, Black Leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus, please. Don't let anything go wrong in this live stream. Okay, so let's move on. So the other way that I study Japanese is, of course, watching Japanese shows. So actually, it was Oriental Pearl who, in one of her videos, she was talking about like how she was like watching Chinese shows, and like that's her studying. For some reason, like something did not click for me. I never like when I was studying Japanese in the US, of course I would watch Japanese shows, but like I never like equated it to studying. But I realized like, hey, that is studying. So you can make studying fun. It doesn't have to be just like reading a book or doing an app, but you can also yeah, watch shows. So I watch anime, Jujutsu Kaisen, Shingeki no Kyojin. Yeah, I watch like anime in Japanese, and I have a tendency to rewatch like the same anime over and over and over. So yeah, so when I watch the anime over and over, I don't use English subtitles. So if I'm watching something for the first time, I'll use English subtitles. But if I'm really familiar with the anime, then I don't watch it with any subtitles. Next, I watch Korean dramas. Hear me out. Korean dramas. Korean, as far as I know, the Korean language and Japanese language, the grammar like structure is very similar. So not the word, there are some common words, but the grammar structure is very similar. So I watch Korean dramas in Japanese. So I go to Netflix and just change to Japanese. Yeah. So, this is how I traditionally studied before, and this is what I still continue to do. But about 3 years ago, I realized something. I realized that how I studied and learned Spanish and Russian was 100% the complete opposite to how I am studying Japanese. And this is probably why, if you're studying Japanese, you may feel like you're not making much progress, or like, why can't I speak it when the opportunity arises? And this is why. Because with Spanish and Russian, I can, oh yeah, yeah, this is why. So, how did I learn Spanish and Russian? So the easy answer to how I learned Spanish and Russian is pressure. Under pressure. Um, yeah, let's see. Hello, dear sister. Would you please do a video review the publications for the ways of motivation? Watching. Oh, Andy, you're here. Hey, Andy. Yeah, that's connecting Africa and Japan in ancient times. Oh, that's interesting. Ben has said. I'll have to look into that more. But yeah, the short answer is pressure. Pressure greatly helped me in Spanish and Russian. So what do I mean by this? So how I studied Spanish, so of course we have to study a language in school, and I had the opportunities to learn Spanish, French, or Latin, and then towards the end Chinese. But I tried going to this Chinese program, but they weren't accepting seniors at that time. They were only accepting like freshmen or whatever. So, yeah, I studied in school, but like this is not how we really learn a language, right? Like the education system for learning languages in the US is horrible. Also, for one of my first jobs, I worked, it's called Gelato Factory, which is really ironic because like that's a brand of nails that I like to buy. But anyway, at one of my first jobs, it was an Italian like pizzeria gelato place in Hunt Valley, Maryland. It's not there anymore. And so on one side of the restaurant, it was like a pizzeria, and then on the other side, it was like gelato. And on the pizza side, there were like a lot of Latino guys that did not speak English. And on the other side, on the gelato side, it was just like American girls. And a lot of times we had to depend on the guys on the other side to help us with like heavy machinery, or like on the gelato side, we had to cook a little too, like crepes and I say it the European way, crepes, it's crepes. Um, we had to cook and we had to like flame stuff. And at a point, like the owner didn't really trust us to do that, so we were supposed to contact the guys on the other side who didn't speak English, and ask them to cook it. So because the other girls, they weren't studying Spanish, they were studying like different other languages, the boss depended on me. He's just like, hey, you're learning Spanish, like translate. Whenever they need something, just like go get one of the guys from the other side and tell them what you need to be done. Yeah, stuff like that. So I had to translate for my first job. So, and then also I worked in Peru. So studying in school helped me with like learning like very basic grammar. Then translating for my first job, it helped it stick a little bit better. And then in Peru, I did international development work. So I worked when I first went there, I went on a program to help like a business there. But then when I went back, I was just doing it by myself. And I don't know, that Jasmine was just like crazy going to a different language and like basically doing your own business. Technically illegally, but like doing my own business in a language that I was not fluent in at that time. Holy hell, like I had cojones. Like I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I worked in Peru, and I'm not just saying like I did work, I did volunteer work. No, no, no. I was doing marketing work, business development work. I was making connections. I was connecting businesses in Peru, all in Spanish. Yeah, so I hung out, like my entire environment was in Spanish. So I hung out with Peruvian friends. I went out to events. Like I don't know if there's any other, I don't see any other foreigners in this picture. This picture, I don't know if this is illegal in other countries, but in Peru it was okay. This was a cockfight. Like there were chickens fighting. Um, yeah, it didn't get messy or dirty or anything. It's just like I kind of blacked out actually. I got so drunk here. Anyway, yeah, I hung out with Afro Peruvians. Like, I didn't really know about Afro Peruvians before I went to Peru. Um, yeah, but yeah, my whole environment, I was just surrounded by Peruvian people every single day. Peruvians, like this is my coworker. So I was helping a museum, Museo de la Coca. If you go to Peru, you should definitely check out the Coca Museum. Yeah, that kind of Coca. Um, yeah, so this is my coworker. This is actually the day that I was leaving. So these are all of my coworkers. This is the owner of the business. He owns like it's a museum, but it's also like a store. And they also have like souvenirs and stuff like that. And yeah, this was the farewell party when I was leaving to go back to the US for a little bit. And these two gringos right here, these are my friends. I invited them. Yeah, Gijs, he's from Netherlands, and Tilly from Australia. But yeah, so my entire environment was like Peruvian, Spanish every single day. Every single day. And my friends right here, they went to like the Spanish language school near the place. So I was living near the school. So that's how I met them. Oh, oh crap, that showed. Anyway, how I studied Russian. Yeah, how I studied Russian is that this picture actually looked kind of bad in hindsight. So I was dating a Russian guy for like 5 years, but not only that, okay, not only that, I hate these animations. I lived with Russians, so I had my own apartment, but I lived with my boyfriend at that time. But also, like right next to me was like his official apartment, I guess. There was Russians like every single day. I was surrounded by Russians. I was living with Russians. I was cooking. Oh, that's the next one. Yeah, I cooked Russian food. I can still make pelmeni, olivier. I love Russian food. It's not like super exotic or anything. It's kind of like basic, but when you're surrounded by this environment like day in, day out, like every single day, like that is a part of me, and it kind of sucks because it's kind of difficult to relate with other people. Just like, why do you understand Russian culture? Just like, well, like yeah. But anyway, like Russian was all around me for 5 years. I would communicate with my boyfriend at the time's family. I helped his cousin learn English. And he didn't speak any English, so I had to use Russian. But yeah, I was always hanging out with Russians. We would go camping every year. We would get shit faced drunk. Like this was at my apartment at the time. And this is small. This is only like there were like 4 or 5 of us at this party, whatever. But like yeah, everything was in Russian. Yeah, so when I was making the realization like 3 years ago, it's just like how I studied Japanese and how I learned Spanish, and how I studied how I learned Japanese versus how I studied Spanish and Russian. I realized that for both Spanish and Russian, I had to interact with the natives. Like I had to. There was no option outside of it. If I didn't interact with the natives, I literally did not eat. I literally did not have friends, or I did not have like my needs met. My hierarchy of needs wouldn't be met if I didn't interact with the natives. Also, it was a conform or be excluded. So it's like the same thing. Like if I did not speak Russian, if I did not speak Spanish, then I'm just like out here by myself, like doing nothing. Like I can't, like in Peru, in Cusco, if you go to the marketplace, you have to order in Spanish. You have to tell them like how many tomatoes do you want? You want it this way. If you're getting meat, you have to tell them like how you want it cut, like this. So I had to, and in the US, like there's a Russian market that I would go to with my ex, and we would order in Russian. You would tell them like how much olivier do you want? Like I want this. Um, yeah, you everything was in Russian for me, so I had to speak it. I had to learn it. So this brings me back to why traditional study courses and methods, your Duolingo, lingo, your app, like all these friggin' methods, they don't work. They don't work. At least like, please don't sue me. They don't work for me. Let me talk about me. Don't sue me. Well, like they are helpful. So yeah, I'll get to that later. But traditional studying is just memorization. It's the wrong neural connections for speech. So you literally, when you are learning something, when you are doing something, your brain is making the neural connections so that you remember how to do it. How to tie your shoe, you had to try, and then when you finally got it, your brain is just like, okay, this is the pathway to getting or to tying my shoe. When you're studying with, I don't want to get sued, but like when you're studying with these apps, when you're studying with these books, even when you're studying with the JLPT, you're making the neural connections for studying this word equals this thing in my language. When I see this, it equals this. But one, there are many cultures and languages where there is not a 100% equivalent in your home culture or home like tongue, your mother tongue. And two, you're making the neural connection for when you see this with your eyes, then it equals this. You're not making the neural connection with this word. When I hear it, I should say this. So you literally, physically do not have the neural connections to speak the language. You have the neural connection to read it, or to maybe if you're studying listening, to listen to it. But the neural connection of connecting, understanding that word with saying the word is completely different. So that's why, like, if you can understand like a full text in Japanese or in Spanish or in Russian, something like this, you can understand if you're studying the language traditionally, you can understand it. But like when it comes time to speak, you freeze. Why do you freeze? Because you don't have that connection. Yeah, I feel like a genius. So that's why it's very easy to forget if you like are studying traditionally. It's very easy to forget like what you studied, because when the situation arises, you don't, the language is the word, the vocabulary, the grammar is not coming out because that neural connection is not there. So don't get me wrong. So anyone from those like apps or whatever, if you randomly find this video, traditional studying is good in the beginning. So Duolingo is good in the beginning. So having a basis, a foundation to understand like how the grammar system works, like is it subject, verb, object? Is it, what is it? Subject, object, verb? Is it like understanding the order is really good. It's useful. It's not 100% needed, but it is super useful. And also learning vocabulary by like studying for JLPT, it's super useful. But that's not how you're going to learn to speak the language, at least in my like in my experience. So let me see, are you guys saying anything? No? Okay. Oh, okay. I have a Russian neighbor down the hall. Oh, okay. I helped a Russian friend move forward from justified bitterness to being able to perceive very well the joy that surrounds us. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. So you may be asking, why am I still taking the JLP if I'm telling you guys that this doesn't work? It's just memorization. I'm not making the neural connections for speaking Japanese. And this is probably why, if you're in Japan, and did you guys ever wonder, like, if you watch all these J vloggers, even like, no offense, like Chris Abroad, I love Chris Abroad's channel, but if you watch all of these J vloggers, do you ever notice that they're not really speaking Japanese? There's many reasons. There's reasons why I don't speak Japanese in my videos. It's because like I feel really confident in my Japanese, but my grammar sucks. Like, and I'm not here to, I'm not on YouTube for you guys to be like just telling me just like, no, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That's not the point when you're in a country. The point is just a person understand. And so, but a lot of the people, I can only speak from my experience, from what I've seen from other like foreigners here in Japan, they don't yeah, they don't put themselves in the environment to be like speaking so much. I don't want to give away my whole presentation. Anyway, so why am I taking the JLPT? So here, the pressure of taking the JLPT, it helps me learn more kanji and vocabulary. So like I said before, studying like traditionally with these apps and everything, it is really good for especially with kanji, because kanji is just reading, right? When you're studying, it really helps you with the vocabulary, it helps you with the kanji. You can study grammar, but the only real way, in my experience, to really like speak with the grammar, using the grammar, is by just speaking. But yeah, learning the vocabulary is really good. So when you hear it, so I cannot tell you the amount of times when I'm studying something for the JLPT, and then like I hear someone say it, I'm just like, oh, okay. So then that neural connection is made because I now heard it, and then I'm able to recognize like, oh yeah, that's that word. That happens almost every day now, actually. Next, I want a piece of paper that says I know things. Like, when it comes down to it, that's pretty much why I'm taking the JLPT, because I don't plan to be working for other people so much for much longer. So there's really no real need for me to have the certification. I just want a piece of paper that tells the world that I know some things. And I have like plans to take other certifications too that are not language related, but I just want a little piece of paper saying, "Hey, Jasmine, she knows some things." Yeah, that's my ego. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm aware of it. So, after learning this, after learning like how I studied Spanish, how I studied Russian, and in reality to me it wasn't studying Spanish or Russian, it was being in Spanish and Russian. So after I realized this about 3 years ago, I modified my studying. So how I modified my studying. So I started to get out of my comfort zone, and I would make, I thought I made 2 slides of that. Anyway, I got out of my comfort zone. So I would talk to more Japanese people, or I think I said it in a few other live streams. I like not being fluent in Japanese because I like when I go to like the bank or to like the post office or something like that. I like that I have to study each time. So it makes every single day more like memorable because I'm embarrassed. Like I didn't say that correctly, something like that. But yeah, I talk to strangers. It's kind of weird because like Japanese people don't talk to strangers so much, especially in Kanto. If you go to Kansai area, then it's more okay. In Tokyo, like I creep people out, and I know I do it. Yeah, and then I also started prioritizing making Japanese friends. Are you guys still here with me? Oh yeah, see, this is a mistake. So yeah, I started prioritizing making Japanese friends and hanging out with my Japanese friends because I had like so many Japanese acquaintances, but I didn't really hang out with them so much. So I started like inviting them out and then just like having fun with them. And this is something again that I don't really see other J vloggers do. They kind of like live in their own like little bubbles, and they don't really interact with many Japanese people. And this is like my qualm with like, yeah, right here, side note. Many foreigners complain about not having Japanese friends in Japan, or Japanese people don't talk to them. Like, have you guys seen like other J vloggers talk about this? Because this is really common. Like when people come to, you like it's like my video? Yeah, again. Yeah, many people talk about like when they come to Japan, just like, oh, Japanese people, they don't want to be your friend, or they're not really friendly, or yeah, have you guys heard of this? Yeah, this topic resonates with me strongly. Okay. Yeah, but I think like I was kind of like this too. I'll play it again. Yeah, I was kind of like this too when I first came to Japan, like saying like, oh, Japanese people, they don't try to be your friend, or the only people that come after you are like gaijin hunters. And there are those types of people that only like you because you're a foreigner, and they don't see you as a human being. They only see you as like, you're different. I want that, and you're my arm candy, like that. Those people do exist, but at the same time, like I feel like many foreigners that come to Japan, they don't realize that they were the ones that left their bubble of living in the US and they came to Japan. So not everyone in the new country that you go to is going to feel comfortable with interacting with someone that is different. So, hey, you left your country, you left your comfort zone, you have to continue to get out of your comfort zone, because Japanese people aren't going to be flocking to you to be like friends with you. Um, yeah, so I see this really commonly, and like I don't want to throw shade or anything because like I follow a lot of J vloggers, not just J vloggers. There's some really big channels. Like I really don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but there's like so many channels of like of YouTubers that travel to different countries, And they don't interact with the locals. Like the only people they interact with are the guides that show them around, or like the taxi driver or something like this. But they don't interact with the locals. It's because they're really scared. They're shy. Um, yeah, and so like those videos give you like a false perception of that country, because all the YouTuber sees is like what they see, and they don't understand why it's this way. They're using their maybe American mindset to analyze something that it has nothing to do with the US. So I still love those channels, but I'm just saying, you guys should be aware. Yeah, so after making the realization, I modified, after recognizing that how I learned Spanish and Russian were different from Japanese, I modified my Japanese studying by getting out of my comfort zone, making Japanese friends, and so this is what you guys were waiting for. Can you guys guess the method how I started studying Japanese? I had to stop doing this actually. I still kind of do it sometimes, but it's really effective. It goes along the same line of making Japanese friends. Can you guys guess? Anyone that guesses, I will send you a black leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus. Don't correct me, I know who this is. But yeah. Can you guys guess, how did I modify my Japanese studies? Ah, my voice, I'm like talking so much. Oh good, like it's 9/11, so these live streams are usually like 1 hour, and I thought that my presentation was going to be so short. But there'll be time for like questions and stuff towards the end. So I don't see any guesses, but let me check. Sorry, Andy, it's okay. You don't. It's okay. I don't see any guesses. Turning on subtitles on game shows. Okay. So let's see. How do you guys think I studied Japanese? Because I have not seen this way anywhere else. Anywhere else. Dating? Oh yeah, well, sort of. That's common though. Know me names. That's really common. Like many people say dating. The same way you did with learning Russian? No, no. Both friendship missions include the intent to surround myself with people more accomplished than I, to encourage self-development. Okay, believe in yourself. So, any guesses? Really? Really? So nobody wants a black leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus? Well, I really don't think that you guys were going to guess anyway. So, this is gonna be funny. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3. Come on, guys. Come on, come on, come on. 2. Oh, come on. Like, there's no more guesses? Like, are you guys even trying? Discord groups? No. No. So remember, with Spanish and Russian, I was surrounded by people, and yeah, I put myself in like an uncomfortable situation. So how did reading ads? No, not reading. Because remember, I want to make the neural connections of speaking. So I started making Japanese friends. I hesitate to say it. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are starting to hurt from smiling. 1. Oh, come on, guys. Okay. Okay. I guess no one gets the black leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus. Immersion with locals or Tinder. Okay, you're close, Anthony Louvers, but what specific way of immersion with locals? Tinder. Oh, that's Speaking to kids. Okay, yeah, I did do that. Working in a non-English environment. Oh, that's okay. Actually, with my job, I do have to communicate in Japanese with the president. So I kind of already do that. Yeah. Teaching it? No, not teaching it. Playing a Japanese game? No. Oh, guys. I really don't think you guys are gonna guess this. Everyone overlooks I can't say the next one because you may guess it then. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know. Believe in yourself. Yeah, that's censored. Um, okay, here we go. It's like you guys are so silly. Okay, here it is. Talking to homeless people. Yeah, working with the elderly. Oh yeah, I do work with the elderly sometimes. Like I talk to elderly people. But yeah, I started talking to homeless people. So I mentioned this like in a live stream back in Chiba, and there was like a homeless lady that I would talk to, and then there's like quite a few homeless people in Shinjuku, and also here in Yokohama, like near what is it? Not too far from Basha Michi. There's like a home karaoke. Yeah, I do karaoke too. Um, yeah, but yeah, I would talk to the homeless people. So I have usually when I see homeless people, I always like buy them a drink or buy them some snacks. I never give money, but I always give them food. And yeah, but like yeah, yeah. So why do I talk to the homeless people? Because like why not? No one else is talking to them. Yeah, people usually ignore them. Like especially in the Kanto area, like it's no different from in DC. Like people just like walk by, pretend like they don't see you or anything. But the weird thing is, like Japanese people, I've heard from various Japanese people complain that haha, this is a path to joy. I heard that many Japanese people they complain about homeless people. They told me directly because they chose homelessness in Japan, whereas in the US it's more difficult. So I've heard. In the US, I've heard like it's more difficult being homeless. Like this can happen. Like you can go into debt, and then you lose your home, you lose your job, and then you become homeless. But from what I've heard from Japanese people is that, and I don't know the specifics or anything, but if you're homeless in Japan, you are actively choosing like you want to live on the streets. This is what I've heard. I have no information off based off this. So I have even made like a video with a homeless person, but I never uploaded it because it just felt really weird. And oops, is that it? Okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah. So if I have extra food, I'll give it to homeless people. I'll buy homeless people like food in the wintertime. I give them like the heat packs, stuff like this. Now I stopped doing this so actively just because I mentioned it in a video a long time ago when I was still living in Chiba. I get kind of weird vibes when it comes to like Japanese men or just like men in general. But like it started getting kind of weird, and then me being a foreigner, not having, I have to be more aware of like my rights as a foreigner in Japan. And yeah, so things would kind of get kind of weird sometimes, and sometimes like the people obviously aren't like completely there mentally. So like yeah, I'll have like quick conversations, just like talk about them, like where are you from, like what are you doing here, like yeah. And yeah, I learned, definitely it stuck with me. It definitely stuck with me. um Yeah, but the one homeless lady that I used to talk to more often, I would never say that we were ever friends. With any of the homeless people that I spoke to, I would never say that we were ever friends or anything. But they became used to me just like, oh, that's the foreigner that's gonna talk to us. But some of them were like kind of pleasant with me. But then other times, just like yeah, some of homeless stereotypes came out, like alcohol and stuff like this. Um, yeah, but it was still like I never felt really unsafe or anything. But yeah, I feel like so many people neglect homeless people. They're people too. So I'm positive I made their days more interesting. I gave them cupcakes too one time. So the conclusion behind this though, oh, gotta go. Okay, Mark, see ya. Okay, the conclusion behind all of this is if you are learning another language, yeah, or how I'm studying Japanese is not how I learned Spanish and Russian, and therefore it is less effective. So if you're studying another language and you're using like these apps or these like courses to learn language or whatever, I can't speak for you, but I just know that many people complain that they still can't speak a foreign language. And I think this is why. It's because you're studying with the books, you're studying like with these apps that just increase your vocabulary. But again, you're not making the neural connections of output of, yeah, using the language. Next, pressure like deadlines really help to learn these vocabulary and grammar, but not speak it. So this is why I would recommend taking the JLPT if you want to increase like your vocabulary, stuff like this, and just like understanding when people are speaking. But again, it's not going to help you you speak. And last, getting out of your comfort zone by making friends and embarrassing yourself. So embarrassing yourself is key because again, you're making that neural connection, just like, oh, I will always remember this because this happened when I said this. So I used to confuse ippai. Ippai in Japanese means like full, and oppai means breast, boobs. Can I say that? I used to confuse them in Japanese for like the longest time. I would always say just like onaka ga oppai, like my stomach is boobs, like something like this, or like the parking lot is boobs. And then like when I was corrected is when I realized just like all the situations that I made this mistake. Like crap. So that's why they were acting like that afterwards. But yeah, you have to embarrass yourself. You have to like find friends. You have to be in environments where you're going to remember the languages better. And so this is why Hello Talk is good or italki is good, but not necessarily for studying the language. I don't recommend studying the language. I recommend doing something in that language. So like, don't like, if you really want to learn a language, don't study just like, okay, this is this vocabulary, this word equals this equals this. No, meet someone on like Hello Talk, talk about movies, talk about sports, talk about something in that language. So change your focus off of, I have to study this language, I want to learn this language, to I want to talk about sports, and I'm going to talk about sports in this language. You see, like if you're focusing, if you're talking about something that you love, if you're passionate about, in that language, the neural connections are just like clicking because you really want to communicate it to that person. So that's my presentation, guys. I hope it was useful for you. Oh, I feel like I was talking so much. Now I can eat my donuts. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna get to your questions. This is one of my favorite donuts here in Japan. Nah, it's good. Pondering. I've never seen this in the US, but it's kind of like a mochi. Like I changed the topic so quickly, right? Because I was thinking about this donut the whole time. And you can take off the little circles. So good. Yeah, sorry, like I really just like changed topics so quickly because I really wanted my donut. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today. And I hope this was useful for you guys. Because again, because I can communicate in like different languages, I see how other people are studying these languages, and then yeah, realizing just like, hey, that's not how you're gonna become fluent, or you're going to be able to communicate in that language. Really, yeah, changed my perspective. I'm not used to talking this much. I found Japanese people would never correct you if you made a mistake out of being polite. Anthony, that's perfectly fine. Because most likely, you will catch your mistake in the future, or if you keep making that mistake, you'll correct yourself. It's okay. Like, you can ask the Japanese person to correct you, that's fine. But it's okay, the focus should be just like output, output, output. Uncomfortable with perhaps a touch of adversity does increase learning speed and potential. Yes, you make me want a donut. Enjoyed the presentation. Thank you so much, Miss. I still didn't get my tea. I don't know if you guys can see my gains. I told you guys in like another live stream that would show you like my gains from going to the gym, but I never did. Muscles. Okay, it's my jeans, but like I made a mistake though. I never took like a before and after picture. I measured myself, but I never took a before and after picture. Can I get like can I get my tea, guys? I didn't make it yet, but like I want my tea. That we can decide to move from a perception not working for us to one that is once it is realized. And that we can do that as often as required does inspire gratitude. Oh, believe in yourself. Thank you. Yeah, all about perspective. Okay. Don't mind me. You guys can see. Oh, guys. By the way, there will be a new video coming out on Tuesday. So I know there are some of you that really wanted you really missed like my edited video. So there will be a new video coming out on Tuesday. And like I said in the last live stream, I think it was, or the one before that, that this channel is changing. So it's going to be a combination of when I was starting how we made it in Japan. So I had a channel for that, how we made it in Japan. Yeah, so this channel in Light Ties will be how we made it in Japan and in Light Ties. So the name is not going to change, but there's going to be a playlist of how we made it in Japan videos because I have like so many how we made it in Japan videos that I just never uploaded it to the how we made it in Japan YouTube channel because like things were changing. So Nayo couldn't continue helping out with the project how we made it in Japan. So, starting Tuesday, there will be like a new type of video. I uploaded it to how we made it in Japan before, but I got really good feedback from the YouTube algorithm. So I'm going to change it a little bit, and then I'm going to upload it, re-edited on this channel. I swear I speak English. Okay. It's so hot. Oh, I couldn't. Okay, sorry, like I really wanted my tea, my donut. Oh, my water got cold though. I don't know if it's going to like seep out. Thank you most kindly, Jazz. Thank you, believe in yourself. It's of course you make it your tea. Abs on point. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really pleased with myself. Yeah, the hot water's not hot anymore. I have a donut. I cannot wait to release Tuesday's video. I missed making edited videos so much, but like the time constraints just suck. So I can't like, oh my god. I'm so excited. And also just like the camera that I use for these live streams is my webcam. Not my computer webcam, like a different webcam. And like I don't really like how it looks. Like I have other cameras, and I just bought like a gimbal too. Thank you guys with the money that you guys gave me, donated. In Lightai's money, bought the gimbal. So thank you guys. Um, yeah, so I have like new equipment, and I want to use like a better camera for upcoming live streams. I will set another poll in the YouTube community tab, so you guys can vote on next week's live stream topic. I think because of what you guys voted upon, the second most voted upon item was why I'm not in America. So please stay tuned for that live stream next week, why I'm not in America. I have to set my game up. Are you in food shopping? Welcome back, Servo. Wow, Jazz, you are looking great in those jeans. You almost have a crazy six-pack. I always almost had a crazy six-pack. We did get to see more of you getting your tea, and this has offered me the inclination to feel warmer. Wait a minute. mm. Okay. Sorry, I'm just like really focused on this donut. Yeah, my tea's not seeping because the water's not hot enough. Okay, my attention kind of like waned a little bit. So let me come back to you guys. So it's now 9:30 here in Japan, so it's now been an hour. Do you guys have any other questions you have for me before we go? And then I'll see you guys maybe on Tuesday, maybe like do a premiere. Or I'll see you guys in next week's live stream. Is there anything that you want to get off your chest? Yeah, Andy, go to the gym. Your obsession with the donut is proof of your serious lifestyle change. Are you making fun of me? Hey, hey, I can, yeah. No, I asked the gym people, like, is it okay that I continue to eat donuts and, like, drink? I don't drink that much alcohol, but, like, they said I could. And it's not like I eat donuts every day. I don't eat donuts every day. I eat donuts every week. Yeah, but I work it off. I work it off. Yeah. By the way, I have a a further disclaimer. I have like a kind of like a rule I just follow. Maybe I broke it this time. I don't know. I forgot that I had these though. I typically don't buy sweets for home. So I usually eat sweets outside, fair game. But I guess this is an exception. Is it? Does this count? Like I don't buy like boxes of cookies or like candies, stuff like that. No. No, no, no. But if I'm outside, I'll eat it. So that way like I don't really snack much. So Andy, that's why I can eat a donut. I'm not eating donuts every day. Well, I may have reduced the eavesdropping neighbors to feeling a little prudish after everything I said to them. Okay, guys, I have to get going now. I will be editing Tuesday's video. I hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope today's live stream was helpful, was useful. Yeah, I want to thank you also again for the donations today. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. See you guys next week. Please be safe. Black Leprechaun Buddha Santa Claus is watching over you. And let's think of a name for him. Yeah, let's think of a name. What should his name be? See you guys next time. Thank you.